Hey guys, I'm Clarke, and today I'm having a look at the ProCo Rat and the MXR Distortion Plus. Obviously two pretty big hitters in the distortion world, so I thought it'd be interesting to compare them as they obviously have very different circuitry. Now, as I always do with these comparisons, we're going to look at low, medium and high gain. I think it would be very interesting to see the low gain because I wouldn't have particularly associated either of these two pedals with a low gain sound. But I discovered recently that the full tone OCD actually sounds great at low gain, so maybe one of these will too. Before all that though, please make sure you subscribe and check out the merch link below. Okay, first, clean sounds. Now, what I discovered in a past video is the MXR gets quite a lot louder as you turn the gain up. So with the gain this low, you'll notice the output is almost maxed out just to get even close to equal volume. It's interesting, the Rat still has the characteristic sort of grating, really aggressive, hard, almost fuzz distortion, but it hasn't got the thickness, the low end thickness that I usually associate with the Rat when the gain's this low, whereas the MXR I still think keeps some warmth and depth to it that the Rat actually loses. Before I get on with the next part of the video, if you're enjoying it and you're interested in lessons, gear, giveaways, and other guitar related things, please make sure you subscribe. It really does help out the channel massively. Okay, now we're into obviously the mid gain. The Rat is starting to sound more characteristically like a Rat. It's got that thickness, that sort of sludgy, just dense wall of sound thing. And the Distortion Plus is definitely not quite as thick. It's definitely more overdrivey, but that's kind of what I would have expected. Let's try some lead stuff. MXR is definitely noticeably less thick and gainy at this 12 o'clock position. Yeah, they obviously have different characteristics as the gain winds in, because it doesn't sound like previously in the low gain mode it sounded thicker than the Rat, but now we're at mid gain. Now the Rat sounds thicker than the MXR. Be interesting to see what now happens when we reach high gain. Okay, now's when we're starting to hear what I think is probably what these pedals are most known for. So the Rat is really starting to sound like that more fuzz end of distortion, sustain that you can measure with a calendar rather than a watch. And the MXR is starting to feel more like a distortion. This is where you're really starting to hear, yeah, those characteristics that they're famous for coming through. Whereas obviously at the lower gain, that's less what they're known for, so it doesn't sound quite as familiar. Okay, it's got to be done. Let's dime them both. So there you have it, the MXR Distortion Plus and the ProCo Rat. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. But in any case, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell icon ticked to be notified of new videos. Have yourself a great day, and I'll see you next time.